Welcome back to A Bite of Mystery, where we talk about controversies and mysteries in pop culture and social media. I'm your host this week, Abby, and joining me is Lily, finally, Kisha, and Andre. We'll start off our weekly trivia question.
Oh my god.
This time it's actually going to be trivia rather than just a conversation starter.
Yay.
Yippee!
As we know, Eugenia Cooney is a very popular YouTuber, and that her entire YouTube name is Eugenia. What was her name before that?
Wait, isn't it pronounced Eugenia?
Is it
Eugenia.
Scope.
I've always said Eugenia. She has two names.
Does she?
Yes.
I didn't
What
know
was
that.
what was it before Eugenia?
I bet it's like a basic white name, like Jessica or something.
It's not very common. No one knows. Okay, it's
Not-
Colleen.
No.
Colleen. Like
Colleen.
Colleen.
Hoover.
It was changed at like 8-10 months old.
I didn't know that.
Why?
I don't know. They just changed it. The parents changed it like.
They don't
8-10
like-
months after.
Can you
There's
get
like-
Colleen for me? It sounds like a middle-aged woman. Didn't fit. Eugenia sounds like an older one. I don't know, whatever.
But it was her parents that changed it, right?
Yeah. It was her
Yeah.
Said 8 to 10 months.
Yeah.
Weird.
I got her Eugenia Cootie yesterday.
Wow. Welcome back, Lily, by the way.
Thanks, guys.
Guys,
Just has been MIA for a while. Oh my god, I keep moving this. I'm so sorry, Lily.
Been a little sick.
she got
Oh.
sick of this podcast.
Yeah.
I lost my voice.
Sick of all the
She
hate
lost a lot of
comments.
things.
I did.
She really did. She was struggling.
Sick of all the hate.
Almost my
comments.
life.
No. Okay.
Um,
Anyway, we're going to talk about Eugenia Cooney, if you couldn't have guessed already. Okay, I'll introduce her for us. So she was an American YouTuber. And, okay, so, like, she was, like, early YouTube days. Like, I think her channel started in 2011.
Mhm.
That's like real. Isn't that a year after YouTube was made?
Like 2.
I have no idea, probably.
YouTube was in like 2009, I believe. Maybe even
Yeah.
2008.
That's weird to think about. But keep
Yeah.
going.
I couldn't even tell you what her YouTube channel was about. Like, it just,
I think she was like just one of those basic YouTube videos. Where
yeah, like, she just would,
How
she
it
would
used to
dance.
be.
She would, like,
Yeah.
tutorials.
She would do a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Everyone did that before.
Mm-hmm. And fans
Vlogs.
from like early on have been showing concerns because in her videos she appears abnormally skinny, which, you know, not to comment on anyone's weight, but if you look up Eugenia Cooney in her early videos,
She's like extremely malnourished.
Yes.
You can
Yeah.
see it.
and now she is 29 years old. She still lives with her parents and she still makes YouTube videos. But in the middle there was a break. I would say like 3-year break or something.
Mhm.
One of her online friends called the police on her house and eventually got her into a rehab center. And that was when she came back on YouTube looking so much better, so much healthier, and basically admitted that she had an eating problem. So we all know that she had anorexia. It's not like a secret or anything, or like a misunderstanding, because some people just look a certain way, but it's pretty obvious that she's very malnourished, like you said. So, yeah, she's 29 years old now, still lives with her parents, and is much worse than she ever was before rehab. And it's coming to the point where it's really scary. Me personally, I'm just so shocked that this is online and it's not. Like, I just don't understand how people like the police can go to her house and just leave. Like,
Mhm.
nothing happened.
Yeah. Like it's obvious there's
It's
something
obvious that
going
she's
on.
in danger. Like,
She's like endangering herself.
yeah.
I've heard a lot of stuff about how it's like her mom making her do it so they can have money and
Mhm.
stuff like that.
Well, she live streams a lot, and there's been a couple, like, occurrences on the live streams where just some suspicious stuff has happened.
Yeah.
Have you seen the thing
yes,
where
the
she
complimations.
was going to go on the porch to look at the moon because, like, she was talking about the moon. I don't know, she was going off on some rant about it. And she snuck down the stairs. She was like, okay, guys, we got to be quiet. We got to go down the stairs. And she was about to go out the door, and you can hear her mom stop her. And she wouldn't let her 29-year-old daughter step out on the porch to look outside.
Mm.
It's like,
Mm,
okay.
yeah, that's weird.
It's a little strange. But it's come to the point where she's just so sick that it's hard. Like, just watching her videos is rough. Like she can't form sentences sometimes.
She can barely move.
Yeah.
Like, you can hear and see her joints popping when she moves.
I don't understand. And like fans continuously call the police at her home. They show up and then they leave, like, because their mom says, she's just a skinny person.
Then again, like, unless they find some substantial evidence, there's nothing they really can do when you think about it. And that is
Yeah.
the worst part. Like, even the police, even if they might agree, there's nothing they can actually do until there is
Mm-hmm.
some form of evidence or something big happens.
Yeah.
Didn't, like, I know that Shane Dawson isn't, like, the most credible person in the world,
Mhm.
but didn't he do, like, a video with Eugenia Cooney?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
After she got sort of better
Yeah.
a little
Yeah.
bit.
Mhm.
And, like, I feel like I remember them talking about her mom and how, like,
It's rough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And when I say this rehab center, I watched a video about her explaining this. It was not centered for eating disorders. It was all spectrums. So she kind of has trauma from it because it's people that were screaming and which
She also, like,
yeah,
it's
go
not specialized, so of course
No.
she didn't get as much help as she could have gotten.
ahead. Yeah, of course. But which an eating disorder and like something like schizophrenia are completely different and
Yeah.
should not be treated the same. And so it's like, yeah, she needs to go back, but she also like is probably traumatized. Like she slept with people that were, in her eyes, very crazy, and she
Yeah.
seemed fine. Like,
She didn't feel safe.
yeah. So that's really rough. But you had another YouTuber, didn't you? That was kind of on the other
yeah.
end of the spectrum.
Nikocado Avocado.
Mm.
Used to be super vegan man, very fit. Like, he used to look, like, really good. And then,
He was a mukbang.
like, 'cause mukbang, that started to happen, and
Mhm.
he hopped on that train and realized that he got clout for eating a lot and became obese
Yeah.
and is no longer a vegan. And, I mean, now he's getting skinnier, losing weight, because I guess pretty sure he said it was like a social experiment. So he gained all this money, and now he's just losing weight for the clout.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm like, no.
oh,
Come back to us, Lily.
okay. I wouldn't necessarily say it's an eating disorder. Like,
Uh-huh.
I know that there's many different kinds of eating disorders, like binge
Mhm.
eating and stuff, but I don't think he's doing it, like,
Yeah.
because of that. He's doing it for money.
Yeah.
It might not be an eating disorder exactly. It might be a mental disorder.
Mental disorder, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you do that for fame.
Same with Eugenia Cooney. I don't think she's doing it for the money, but I think her mom.
Oh, she's definitely not doing it for the money, but there's something going on there. Like,
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. No,
And I feel like to bring up the Shane Dawson thing again, I feel like people doing videos surrounding her is not helping. Like,
no. But it's
yeah.
like, at the same time, like, we don't know what to do anymore because we are literally just watching this girl
Yeah.
die. And it's just
Yeah.
so amazing to me that it's allowed.
I get what it's like to, in some extent, I do get it what it's like to not be happy with your own body in a way.
Mhm.
As soon as I started saying that, there's something in my contact. Sorry, guys.
Starts bawling your eyes out.
Oh wow. Okay, but like, from my experience, like I don't know when this started, but I'm one of those people who, like, if I look in a mirror on an odd day, like, I won't recognize my face as my face.
Mhm.
I've struggled with that a lot throughout my life, and like I kind of get it how hard that is on your mental health. Like it's scary. It's
Yeah.
genuinely so terrifying. But I don't know. It's so scary to think about people genuinely changing their body
Yeah.
and malnourishing, like denying eating, water, all these things so they can be skinnier, or the other way around, eating so much so that they don't have to feel what they feel. Like it's scary, and it kind of proves like how much we don't really think about how much is too much. I feel like every episode we talk about this, like always know your boundaries.
Yeah. I mean, like, yeah, I don't blame her at all, really.
No.
It's a true disorder. Like, I'm not trying to
It is
Mhm.
insane.
make it sound like it's her fault for doing any of this, but I do think that it's really sad that we can't help her. Like, I
Yeah.
think we should be able to.
I sidebar again. I actually grew up with a friend who was in this situation. And obviously, for privacy reasons, we're not gonna
Sure.
we're not gonna name her. We're not gonna name the entire situation. But I do know that Eugenia Cooney was one of her like ideal like body types.
I was about to talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
How it's not her. Like
It's
we
not
said,
exactly
it's
her
not
fault.
her fault.
Mm-hmm.
But someone should definitely be monitoring what she posts and like kind of filtering it,
Mhm.
because I've heard a lot of times that people with eating disorders or have had eating disorders see her videos on like just anywhere, and it just triggers like
Yeah.
bad stuff from the past.
My friend, to an alarming extent, made her like their idol, and it was
Yeah, that's really bad.
it was terrifying. I was scared for her. Everyone was scared for her, but she didn't. She's like, if Eugenia can live through it, then I can do
Yeah.
it.
And
I'm
that's
like,
just not.
I don't think
true.
you understand the type of life that she has because of it.
Mhm.
I feel like I've heard a lot of that. Like people with an eating disorder who are super skinny, and people say that that's their idol, and it's like
Yeah.
that's for all the wrong reasons.
And I was actually talking to my dad over the weekend about this before we even decided that this was going to be our episode.
Yeah.
We were talking about, and this is around the same topic, a little bit of a sidebar. Barbie dolls.
Okay.
They used to be so skinny,
Mhm.
hourglass figure, perfect, quote unquote, perfect body, stuff like that. And now it is so crazy. Now we have Barbie dolls with different body types,
Yeah.
different disabilities, and it's like we're
Mhm.
finally accepting that the human body and human beings are different. That
Mhm.
we don't come in a plastic case looking all glamorous, if you will. I love it so much that kids are now growing up with that exception.
Yeah, me too. I wish that everyone could see that
Yeah.
everything's accepted, you know? But
People are so
Yeah.
like
It's
I agree. But I have a question for you guys that kind of sums up this topic a little bit. Do we think that help should be forced upon someone that is clearly in danger?
that is
mm,
a difficult question.
not
Mhm.
forced, because
It should be encouraged.
I feel like a lot of time if you force help on the people, it just never ends well.
No. Like it may help them health wise, but
Yeah.
that can ruin a person.
Yeah.
Mm.
Like interventions are not exactly a way of forcing, help on someone,
Mhm.
but it's a way of gathering people and showing to this person just how scary that their,
Mhm.
addictions, their habits, their,
Mm.
illness may be on themselves and how many people are scared for them.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying like all interventions are great. We all know that they are bad sometimes, but it's a way of helping without forcing someone.
That makes me think of like how many celebrities have been like drug addicts or addicted to
Yeah.
anything, and then like people are like, how do I word this? Like, there's just many cases where people
Yeah.
are obviously addicted to something, and like,
How many people just
Yeah.
let it happen?
yeah,
I
yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
I have a favorite comedian that we all know about, John Mulaney, guys. I love John Mulaney, but he was a serious addict.
Mhm.
He was horrendous. He had to stop being a comedian for I don't know how long because it was getting that bad.
Yeah.
And he said the day that he was late to his own intervention because he had went to his dealer and gotten drugs. And I was like, that is so wild,
Mm.
And then he said, you never think about it, but when you're a drug addict and you walk into a room and there's a bunch of people in there, your first thought is this is an intervention. But when you're sober, you're just like, "Oh, it's a party. Let's go." Like your first thought is it's an intervention, and then they immediately tried to help him, and what he tried to do instead was, "Can I go to the bathroom?" so he could do his drugs. And it's just it's so interesting to hear from someone who went through that and mostly recovered to hear like his thought process was not all these people care about me, it's I need to do this so I can get through this.
Yeah.
It was I don't know.
Yeah, I don't really know about this one either. I feel like forced is a strong word, but for specifically Eugenia's like situation, we don't really know. It's very suspicious with her mother, and it's really hard to tell if like she really does need help from that, because when I'm sure when like the police come to her house, it's her mother that opens the door and not her. So it's like
I feel like
it's tricky.
maybe they need to talk to her mom more than
Than
like
her.
her.
and it's hard to think about that. Like, you know how mother relationships are. Where they can be rocky, but still, like at least my mom has made this a point. Like, I came out on my mom, and my mom loves, like, she would do anything.
Right. Yeah.
And it may not always seem like that, but to imagine if Eugenia's mom is doing that to her is, I think, one of the hardest thoughts anyone can think of.
And we could be completely wrong. Like, she could be, like, just wanting her daughter to be happy, doing her own decisions, and,
She may be trying to help her daughter, but she
could
won't
be,
accept
yeah.
it. It may be her manipulating her mom. That's the thing. We will never know unless it is actually solved.
Yeah.
I think that's upsetting. That's upsetting for a lot of people.
I remember seeing on TikTok.
No.
There we go.
Okay.
That everyone. This was like, a couple weeks ago. People were talking about how like they thought that she was dead and that she's gonna die soon, and like, well,
They've been saying this for, like,
yeah.
10
Years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Which does not feel good to hear.
And so
yeah, imagine going online and people are telling you that you're dead. Like
yeah, people are telling you
That's
that like you're dying. They can see you dying.
that's not helpful at all.
Nope.
That's when you have got to get yourself off of this social media, especially if you're in her health condition.
I feel like the amount of attention people are giving her, which I guess is what we're doing right now, but like that's not good either.
No.
Well, yeah, but then again, it's like, how do we help her?
I don't know.
It's a hard situation. Like, unless she finds a way to help herself.
Bless you.
Was that a sneeze?
She hit my ear into the microphone
And it cut out. But unless she somehow finds a way to help herself, it won't fix it.
Yep. We unfortunately can't help.
That is the
everyone.
basis of all of it. When it comes to addictions or health disorders like these, there's no way you can help that person unless they decide that it's time to help themselves.
Yeah.
Yep. We can try to spread the word and spread positivity too.
I feel like that's like the main takeaway, that she needs to help herself.
Yes.
Well, people need to help her help herself.
That's why it's so important to compliment people out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, I will write compliments on Dunkin' cups.
Yeah.
I will write them and then give them out. And I don't know if these people will read them and if they like them or not, but it's just that one small thing that may help someone. Like, maybe I do deserve to eat, or maybe I do deserve to take care of myself.
For
Like,
sure.
just that little push is all you need. Compliment someone today. If you're listening to this, compliment someone.
You're all beautiful.
You are also wonderful. Thank you, guys.
Andre, you want to turn that timer off real quick?
Oh.
Beep, beep, beep,
Oh
beep,
no.
Beep beep beep. Beep beep beep. Beep beep beep.
Andre, you are so good at turning off that timer.
Yes,
You
Andre,
turn it
go.
off. You go, King.
It
Okay.
has a
That's you.
terrible sensor.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us, everybody. This was a bite of mystery, and we'd like to thank you all for listening. Until the next rabbit hole, we'll see you guys later.
Bye, guys.
That was